Yo, what up, y'all? Snoop here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and thanks for subscribing. And I got a very special episode for you guys. So a lot of people have been hitting me up and it's always these same questions with interviews, right? You know, what would you tell your former self? What are tips entrepreneurs need to know? What are some life lessons? I feel like all of those questions are kind of compromised of the same thing. So this YouTube episode is about your 10 life lessons, all right? 10 life lessons that I've learned that I want to share with you guys, all right? First of all, man, we're sitting here in my Sprinter, my birthday gift to myself. So, man, this thing is so comfortable, y'all. Definitely got to get one of these. And no, mine is not for rent. I don't want nobody in here tearing this bad boy up before I get in it. But anyway, today we talking about 10 life lessons, man. Definitely put your thinking caps on, turn your volume up, and get ready for some insight, all right? Number one, and y'all can tell I really put some thought into this because I actually wrote these things down, all right? So, number one, don't always be the smartest person in the room. I'm pretty sure you have heard that before, and it feels good. You know, it feels good when, you know, you the one making the most money, you know what I'm saying? You know, you the smartest person in the room, you the biggest boss in the room. But guess what? If you are always putting yourself in those type of positions, then you're not going to be able to learn anything. All right. And so that's really what the most important piece is that you want to always place yourself in environments when you can learn things. You shouldn't be out of your group of friends. You shouldn't be the richest one all the time, okay? Because then you're always going to be the one paying for shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going to be riding in your Sprinter, getting in free on your dime, coming to your spots, drinking up all the alcohol. Y'all get this? Y'all see what be happening to me in my life? You want to make sure that you surround yourself by some like-minded individuals, some individuals that can help you make some money, that can put you on some game, that can put you on some opportunities, and that can help teach you some things. All right? So that's number one. You don't always want to be the smartest person in the room. Number two, you always want to be thirsty for knowledge. Growth is a hell of a thing, all right? So you always want to be teaching yourself something, learning something, whether it's reading books, okay, listening to podcasts, subscribing to new podcasts, reaching out, having mentors, all right? You always want to make sure that you are thirsty for knowledge and that you are learning and growing things. Look, I started a lot of my businesses 7 to 8 years ago, all right? So within that time period, if I was the same CEO, if I've never learned anything, if I hadn't grown, then my businesses are not going to grow either. So you want to make sure that you are always putting yourself in an environment where you can learn some things. So make sure you're teaching yourself some things, and make sure you're thirsty for knowledge and that you're getting that growth. One thing that I have recently heard on an Earn Your Leisure podcast, it was actually Daryl Freeman who was speaking. I think I've said this before on one of my YouTubes, but a lot of CEOs start their company and then they end up running the company until the end of it. But it's like a lot of times it's time to turn it over to somebody else because somebody else can really run that company better than you can. You know, you get it up to a certain level and then you let somebody come in who's smarter than you, who's smarter in some areas than you are, okay? Because we don't know everything. We can't be super sharp in every single area. Number three, this is something that I'm big on, y'all. And it may sound like common sense, but I see so many people go through this. Do not be used. Do not put yourself in a situation to be used. They find it so interesting when I tell people, no woman that I have ever dated has ever asked me for anything. Not a dime, not a nickel, nothing. Like, and it be people with much less than I do, and they be dating these girls that's always in their pockets, always asking them for something. I think for me, they always just realized that a lot of my money was going to my businesses and things of that nature, but also they know I ain't going, you know what I'm saying? So that goes for everybody. That goes for friends, that goes for family members. You can be nice, but do not put yourself in a position to be used, okay? And so a lot of these things that I was talking about, being the smartest one in the room, being the richest one in the room, when you always surrounding yourself by people who have less than you, they looking at you to do all the providing. You know what I'm saying? Don't put yourself in situations like that. I just went out the other night. I know they was looking at me to buy a bottle, and I was just like, y'all invited me out, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I'll buy one if I want to, but don't be expecting that, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you carry yourself and how you set yourself out there, all right? Some people, they like being used because they like being the one seemingly feeling like they get it. They here to impress, not to impact. I'm here to impact, not impress, you know what I'm saying? Do not put yourself in a situation to be used, and that's by anybody in your life. All right, number 4, family first. Another one of those things that sound like it could be common sense, but for a lot of people it's not. Yeah, a lot of people that will be at the beck and call for their friends before they will their own mama. You know what I'm saying? So always keep in mind, family first. Family, when you come from a good solid family, that's who's gonna be there for you. Okay, make sure that you always put your family first, whether it's your kids, your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, or whoever. Always think about the people that help put you in the position that you are in to this day. Number 5, don't tell people how much you make. So before I did the Earn Your Leisure podcast, and they used one of my taglines, they actually asked me how much money I make. And I was telling them that I could make even more money than what I make now, but I believe in having a good team and paying them well. And so they were breaking out the numbers, and then they kind of used that as one of my taglines to help drive traffic to the actual episode. But for me, I never was in the business of telling people how much I make. Not my mama, not my daughter, not my fiance, nothing. Because honestly, people get to looking at you like a dollar sign. You know what I'm saying? And shit, some people get to stealing. Some people don't work as hard or whatever. Because it's like, oh, that bitch got it. She making 80 grand a week, probably more than that. She got it. You know what I'm saying? So what you make is your own business. I know a lot of times, especially us influencers, we like to put little different things out there to help inspire others, but just be careful about what you put out there. As just like, for example, I was recently was posting some of my earnings in the stock market. And you even have to be careful with things like that. You know, it's really sad because when we try to sell these courses and these mentorships and these workshops, the thing that really sells them the most is showing people your assets and what you have. Me sitting in this Sprinter, me showing my multi-million-dollar home, me showing the luxury cars that I have. You know, unfortunately nowadays you can't just tell people, hey, this is Snoop, I own 10 motherfucking businesses. Of course y'all know I got it. Of course y'all know I make $80,000 a year or more. I can't have to tell you how much money I make. You know what I mean? But in order to sell a lot of these courses and to get people to come over to your YouTube and all of this stuff, because we live in a world where people are impressed by material things. They're not impressed by just seeing, oh, this hardworking individual. You know what I mean? A lot of people wasn't even, you know, on my story and all of that until I bought this damn house. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, apparently the girl is doing good. She opening up restaurant after restaurant each year. You know what I mean? Be careful with telling people how much you make, because they really can use that against you. Secondly, guess who else is looking? Guess who else is on Instagram? The feds, the IRS. So you on Instagram talking about I make 80 grand a year, 80 grand a week. Then you turn in that motherfucking tax return and it say you made $200,000 for the year. You know, some don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Miss Dilly, let's go on and pull this Earn Your Leisure episode. You know what I'm saying? Be humble about what it is that you make, what it is that you got going on. A lot of us are doing some very, very monumental things. Hats off to a lot of people that I see posting a lot of their earnings and sharing different things with other people. And a lot of people are doing it just because, honestly, that's the most way for us to sell courses and things to you guys. Unless we show you, hey, I'm in this industry and I made this, y'all ain't gonna believe it. Number 6, have a great support team and appreciate them. But show your appreciation through raises and through bonuses. I'll tell you guys, I've done a lot of little different things to show appreciation to my staff, and a lot of times it gets to the point where either A, it's never enough, or B, some of those same people I end up finding out that they stealing or something. It's something negative from it, and then, you know, I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling stupid because I done threw a huge DHG Christmas party with buffet and, you know, all you can drink alcohols and all this type of shit. Or, you know, you'll have somebody say, oh, you don't appreciate me, but they getting the bonus that they cash in the following week. They only saying you don't appreciate them because you telling them they not doing their fucking job and what they missed out on. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of always be careful and have that thin line with your staff. I get to the point where I get very close with some of my staff members, but then I always gotta pull back and realize that, hey, I'm the boss. I can't really be friends with the people that work for me, because it's gonna come a time when it's a discrepancy and they work performance or whatever, and then they thinking that we was just friends. Nah, honey, we not friends. You work for me. I show my appreciation appreciation, by you being able to cash your check, by your money being on time, and by you getting bonuses. I'm not gonna kiss your ass. If you doing something wrong, you will be told. Okay. Number 7, experience is the best teacher. Do not be afraid to get out there. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care about how many prayers you send up to the good man above. You got to do some of your own stepping. Okay. You got to get out there. You got to experience. You know what I mean? With experience, you are truly going to learn. That's why when a lot of times, you graduate from college, or you have a trade, and it's still hard to be able to get a job. And the reason why is because they know that you can't learn what you can learn being on the job from just going to school and being in them books. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out there. So don't be afraid to get out there, because experience, loss, and failure are some of our best teachers. Number 8, take care of your health early. A lot of people always be talking about, oh, dope boy bellies, you know what I mean? All this type of stuff, niggas with a bunch of money sell dope, sit up and eat hot wings, french fries, lamb chop, steaks, lobster, all type of shit they could never afford in life. They get some money and they eat it all up in one day. I've literally seen sit up and eat 3-4 plates of oxtails and all this type of shit, man. Let me tell y'all something. Those type of things will not keep us healthy. A lot of times, like for example, I have high blood pressure, and one of the things I tell people, oh, this runs in my family. No, it don't. Let me tell you what runs in the family. Bad eating habits is what runs in the family. Okay, using a lot of salt, cooking different ways, eating different shit, putting fat back in greens, putting salt pork in greens, you know what I'm saying, versus just using turkey meat. All right, all of these things, having healthy eating habits early is going to help you live longer. I was just actually going to lunch with my mom this past weekend. Was at a restaurant, was deciding we was going to order. She's like, I'm going to get the ribeye. I said, girl, you get a steak every time you see one on the menu, huh? For her, she don't never pick the healthy choice. You know what I mean? But that's how they grew up. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you go over grandmama house, great grandmama house, big mama house, whoever, eating ribs, roast, fried chicken. Ain't no goddamn baked chicken. Fried chicken, hot water cornbread, greens, black eyed peas, macaroni and cheese, candy yams. That shit making me hungry right now. But look, guess what? We can't eat that shit every weekend. Food is changing, right? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to pick the salmon instead of the steak. Sometimes you got to pick the chicken instead of the roast. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things start early. You know what I mean? Exercise and putting a little workout, you know what I mean, in your lifestyle and in your routine. Taking care of yourself. I'm gonna tell you something. You can work. Your ass around and get cancer or get some other shit. Ain't no paying your way out of that. So let's make sure that we start by taking care of our health, and we start early as we possibly can. Number 9, life is short, so make every single moment count. I think that goes without saying. We all know somebody that we close to that have passed away unexpectedly. Things that we've been shocked by, you know what I'm saying? People that have been debilitated, got into car accidents, could no longer walk, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Man, life is so short. Enjoy every moment, y'all. Sometimes you got to put them phones up when you at dinner with your loved ones and with your group of friends. A lot of times, we go out to the clubs, lounges, be right there just sitting on our phones, just like this. Man, put that shit up, enjoy that moment, because guess what? Life is short, time is money, and you can't never get time back. The 10th thing, I actually got 11 of them for y'all. All right, so I got a bonus one. 10th thing, think before you act. That applies to so many different situations, man. I'm an Aries, so I used to really be a hothead and really have a super bad tongue on me. And a lot of times, even now, I'll get emails or people will say things that I don't agree with, or I feel like they was being smart or whatever the case may be, and I have to just kind of ease it back and think before I respond. A lot of times we'll do things that can be life detrimenting, life changing. Think before you act. Think before you make some of the decisions that you make, because some things you can't take back, y'all. And so my 11th one, my bonus one, it is a phrase that I have lived by since I started working. I've actually lived by this phrase, I think, from when I first went to college. And everybody told me, I've always been the type to kind of just enjoy life, to kick it, to go hard, you know what I mean? Be serious, but have fun, you know what I mean? And so my motto has always been work hard, play hard. Number one, don't be doing a bunch of playing if you ain't doing a bunch of working, because then you just around. All right, but if you work hard, make sure you enjoy the fruits of your labor. You absolutely deserve it. Y'all make sure y'all work hard, play hard. I just got done doing a bunch of work. I'm about to start playing in a minute. Got the sprinter, about to head on out, see what we can get into in these Atlanta streets today. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at WhoIsSnoop.